Olivia, you might not want to spoil it for anyone that doesn't know the history of the 76 final kind of Grand Prix of the season.
Yeah.
But I love the fact that we got to see Suzy's reaction there watching on TV.
Yeah, I love that too.
Yeah. What kind of indication does that give us about the kind of relationship that they've got?
I think they really loved each other. Suzy really adored James, and she knew that she could never occupy the space in his heart that was devoted to racing, that that's what he cared most about, and that that's what he could put his energy towards, not a relationship. But she was happy for him. She was thrilled for him. She knew that he had achieved his dream, and she was very moved by it. I think there's still just a place reserved in her heart for him.
And what do you think the attraction was for Suzy to James and for other women as well?
He was just incredibly charming, brilliant, and funny, and gregarious, and sexy. I mean, I think he brought energy to any space he was in, and you couldn't say no to him. Just that irresistible personality.
And Hunt and Lauda had compelling stories, didn't they? But I think Suzy's quite a fascinating character in herself, isn't she?
Yeah, Suzy in her own right is a fascinating character. I mean, not only because she went from James Hunt to Richard Burton, but because she was this very successful model, this it girl of the moment, and was very self-possessed. And even though she was married to, world champion race car drivers, she had her own career. She wasn't able to be there at every race supporting him because she had her own thing going on, but she cared very deeply. I almost think they were too big to be in the same room. The two of them were both equally kind of electric.
And what kind of research did you do, either into Suzy herself or just into the era in general when you were preparing to play her?
I did as much as I could about Formula One itself to understand the world that they were in and what was surrounding it, because I knew nothing about F1. In America, we know nothing, don't know who James Hunt or Niki Lauda are. So I learned all about them, read a few biographies, learned about the time period, about Suzy herself. There's not a huge amount on Suzy, but I looked at everything I could and listened to people who had met them, who said that they were just fantastic to be around, just amazing parties, and deeply in love, totally wild for each other, until they descended into a kind of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, deep, tumultuous period.
And Ron Howard has definitely got a great eye for the 70s, hasn't he? He's made a few films set in the 70s, and his own TV career was sort of burgeoning then, wasn't it? What did you make of his recreation of the period and the fashion that you get to wear as well, recreated by Gucci, I think, wasn't it?
It was, all Gucci, and we were very lucky that they opened up their archives and gave us new things and really helped me inhabit Suzy, because she was so glamorous, still is, but at the time, stepping into the coats and the hats and the boots just allowed me to understand a little bit more. And, Ron puts it best about this time period. It was a time when sex was safe and driving was dangerous. And I think that really says it all.
And for anyone who might think that it's just a movie about sort of boys in fast cars, what would you say to them to say that it's definitely got broader appeal than that? Oh, God,
no. It's an incredibly heartbreaking, thrilling, exciting, sexy story. It's not just about the cars. The cars are a brilliant part of it, beautifully shot, very exciting, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat action. But the emotional stories around the driving are what really kind of brings you to tears. And not to mention that it is the sexiest movie I've seen in a long time. I mean, it's really, really kind of a sizzling film. So I tell that to women who think that it's not a film for them. They should give it a try.
That's the first, I think, for Ron Howard, isn't it? To sort of make it very sexy.
Very, very sexy Ron Howard.
Thanks very much, Olivia Wilde.
Thank you.
Thanks.